Don't you just love spending your whole summer chasing your pool floats that blow away in the wind? Alright, so today we're going to be making a DIY pool float container frame, whatever you want to call it, using PVC pipes. So it's really simple to put together, but we need to do just a little bit of planning first. I'm going to show you my design that I used, and we'll get into dimensions in a little bit here. But before you start, you need to have a design, so you can either follow along with mine, or you can tweak it, or you can come up with something totally on your own. But you're going to need to figure out how much PVC you need and what kinds of connectors you need. For my design, we will need a total of 50 feet of PVC pipe, so I bought 5 pieces of PVC pipe, each 10 foot long, and I got 3/4 inch thickness. I also had to get some connectors, so I had 6 3-way connectors, 8 T's, 3 elbows, and 4 caps. Alright, now we will jump into the actual dimensions and assembly. Alright, so the first thing we need to do is cut out all of our pieces. I'm going to have a screen pop up telling you what size your pieces need to be if you're making the same design as I am. So pause the video, take a screenshot, and then we are going to start cutting out our PVC pipe. I'm actually going to have Becca here cut for me because I have the hardest time cutting PVC pipe. So we're going to start cutting out our pieces. Now you know what they say, measure twice, cut once. Alright, we're starting with our 48-inch piece. I'm also going to mark my pieces as I go so I don't get confused of which is which. This is our 48-inch piece. Next we need 10 pieces that are 36 inches or 3 foot long. So popping up right now on screen, you should see some numbers that all add up to 120 inches. This is how to cut your pieces, each individual pole, so that way you get your exact measurements from these 10-foot pieces without ending up where you cut a bunch of pieces and then you need, say, 48 inches of one piece, but you've got 12 inches here and 36 inches here. This is so that way we can have complete sections. So that breakdown is, for first pole, we're cutting into a 48-inch piece, a 36-inch piece, and a 36-inch piece. The next 2 poles, we're going to cut into 36 inches, 36 inches, 36 inches, and 12 inches. The 4th pole, we're going to cut into 36 inches, 36 inches, 24 inches, and 24 inches. And then the last one catches all those little miscellaneous ones, so 20 and 20 and 16 and 14 and 12 and 4 and 5 and 5 and 10 and 2 and 2. Anyways, this is so that way you can end up with all your pieces together and not have the right amount of length but not able to make a complete piece. So because I was filming outside with a different mic than normal, I once again didn't turn it on while filming. So I'm going to voice over the construction of the project, and that's why what you hear and what it looks like I'm saying aren't going to match. Sorry! So now it's time to grab our connectors. We need 6 of these 3-way corner pieces. I don't really know what they're called, but here's what they looked like. We opted for unthreaded connectors, and we made sure they matched the dimensions of our PVC pipe. We also need 8 T's, 3 elbows, and 4 caps. So the first step is to assemble the base, which calls for 3 of the corner pieces and some of our 36-inch PVC pieces. I actually made an error here that I will correct in a moment, but basically we are forming a square that is the base of our project. Make sure the tops of the corner connectors are all face up. So now this is where I realized my mistake, so I'm taking off one of the 36-inch pieces. I'll make 2 notes that tie in at this point. First, we're going to add netting to our project later, and if you want, you can glue your pieces together. However, before adding the netting or gluing anything together, I would recommend assembling your pieces first to make sure everything will work out the way you envisioned. So once I have just 3 of my 36-inch pieces connected, I'm going to grab a T, a 20-inch piece, and my 16-inch piece. I'm going to connect the 20-inch and 16-inch pieces with the T to basically create that 4th 36-inch side. The T is going to let us attach the pole for the tubes. Once I've connected the 2 pieces with the T, I need to add my 3-way corner pieces. Make sure you orient the T in relation to the corner pieces the way I show here. If one side of the corner is facing up and the other is facing out, the T needs to face downward. Then let's take this piece and attach it to what we already have. Now this forms the square base of our project. Note that the corner pieces are all oriented upward and the T is pointing out to the side. Next, we are going to assemble a 48-inch piece, 20-inch piece, 2-inch piece, and 2 of those 5-inch pieces for our pool tubes. We will need 2 T's and 3 caps as well. Start by connecting the 20-inch piece and the 2-inch piece with a T. We want the top of this T to face upwards. Next, attach the middle of the second T to the 2-inch piece. Here you can see the proper orientation. On either side of our second T, attach a 5-inch piece and a cap on the end of each 5-inch piece. This is to add support. Your piece should look like so. The last thing we need to do is attach it to our square base formed earlier before adding the 48-inch pole. When we attach it to our square base, we want to make sure the first T is pointing upward, just like the corner pieces of the square base. Once it is attached to the base, add the 48-inch pole with the cap on the top of the first T. Now let's build upwards from our base. Start by grabbing 2 T's, 2 24-inch pieces, and a 36-inch piece. Attach the middle of the T's to either end of the 36-inch piece. Then add the 24-inch pieces as legs on either side. The open side of our T should be facing upwards. Once this is together, add it to the square base on the side opposite the pool tube pole. Next, we're going to assemble the hook for our bag of toys. We will need another T, an elbow, and a cap, along with a 2-inch piece, 14-inch piece, and 4-inch piece. Attach the 2-inch piece to the bottom of the T. Then add the 14-inch piece to the side of the T. Add the elbow, the 4-inch piece, and a cap to complete the hook. We're going to attach this to the side piece we just joined to our base. This is the side that is opposite the tube pole. Make sure this piece is attached to the side that will be against your pool. For me, this is the back right corner. The piece is attached parallel to the back side of the base. To finish this side, we need to add the rest of the height. On the side where we added the hook, we will insert a 10-inch piece on the top of the T. Then add a 12-inch piece to the T on the front corner. Grab 2 more 36-inch pieces and attach them to remaining corners of the base. At this point, each of our sides is approximately 36 inches tall. With this design, I didn't account for the thickness of the connectors, so the sides of the connectors may be slightly taller than the sides that are just PVC pipe, but it's not significant enough to make a difference in the end result for this project. Of course, you can adjust the design to account for the connector widths if you would like a more precise finished result. For our next step, we need 3 36-inch pieces, 2 T's, and 2 corner connectors. We are going to assemble a giant C shape. Start by attaching the middle of a T to one of the 36-inch pieces. Then add a corner piece to the opposite side. Make sure to orient these pieces so that the T runs in the same direction as the corner piece, as shown here. Attach the next 36-inch piece in the side of the corner and add another corner piece to the other end. Finally, add the last 36-inch piece and attach the remaining T to the opposite end. If assembled properly, you will end up with a C-shaped piece that can be added on top of the frame so far. The corner piece is attached to the side with the pole, and the T piece is attached to the side with the hook. Last of all, we are going to add some height to the side with the hook. I made one side taller so that the longer floats have something to lean against and to stop the wind from blowing floats out of our project. I oriented the tall side on the far side of the direction that the wind usually blows where I'm at. To add this height, start by inserting the remaining 12-inch pieces in the open T's on the right side. Then add elbows to either end of the final 36-inch piece. Lastly, attach the 36-inch piece to the 12-inch pieces using the elbow. And now your project is assembled. We added our floats to make sure this design will work. The far side, where I'm standing, is the side that will be against the pool. I made sure our frame was a good height so that we can access floats while in the pool. As I mentioned earlier, we are adding netting around our frame. This part is easiest if you completely disassemble your frame and reassemble with the netting, or if you add the netting from the get-go. However, we chose to add the netting at the end so that we could first make sure our design worked, and we didn't completely disassemble our frame because we were losing daylight. However, the netting will be more secure if you add it as you assemble. We used a rope trellis from our garden for netting. You could also use rope or just skip the net completely. And here we go, here's our final project out by the pool with our floats. I'm going to show you one last thing here. This is so that we can access the tube floats while we're in the pool. We're going to take a piece of string and we're going to put it inside the 48-inch pole and then put the cap over it to hold that end in place. With the other end of our rope, we're going to tie it onto the top of our PVC frame over to the right. So now when we put our tube floats on there, they will go over the pole and over the rope. However, we can grab the other end of the rope and pull on it and it will cause the tubes to rise up so we can get them really easily from while in the pool. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this project. Make sure that if you enjoyed this video, you hit the like button and that you also subscribe to my channel. Thanks so much for watching and happy crafting!